Well, welcome. This is our MBA orientation. This is Business 600, your introduction to the MBA program. My name is Darren Gertis. I am the director of the MBA program.
Yay!
And that's why we bring Sharon Johnson here, so you can say yay. So I want to introduce a few people first before I get started. And on the front row, there are a number of faculty members here. On the very end, you're trying not to...
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Please stand up. Our librarian, our head librarian is here, and she's going to be talking about how to do research, and she's going to guide us through a little guided tour. Next to her is Mba White. I'm sorry.
What is your name?
She is one of our finance professors. Then we have Sharon Johnson. Sharon, don't be lazy.
When they're going to see me again?
No, they want to see the good side of Sharon Johnson. This is Sharon Johnson. Sharon Johnson, by the way, you might not recognize this. He's actually within Christian Business Faculty Association land. He's won every award they have. They've named an award after him. So when you're in his class, you're going to get some pretty good stuff.
Please.
Yeah. Okay. Next to him is Jim Wilkerson. Jim Wilkerson just joined us, and he'll be teaching management, marketing, human resource management, those kind of things. Statistics, that's correct. He's just joined us. Larry Smith, come on up. Larry Smith teaches MIS, so if you're in that kind of track, you'll run into Larry somewhere down the line, but he's going to be talking about, particularly about plagiarism today. And then Nolan, stand up. Nolan is the vice president of the MBA Society, and he'll be talking about that in just a little bit. In the back, if you could look back there, Christy Smith is waving her hand. Oh, I'm sorry. We have the treasurer of the MBA Society over on the corner who is waving her hand first, and then Christy Smith, who is raising her hand. Christy Smith is the financial aid person, so if you still have financial aid questions, she's going to walk you through that, and then if you have questions, she'll be able to take care of everything, get you all sorted out before you leave. Next to her is Janie Cogdill. Does that name ring a bell with anybody? That name should ring a bell with everybody here, because she got you in process to everything. The reason that you are here is because Janie has done the heavy lifting to get you here. And then next to her is Rachel Wagner, who is going to be doing all the heavy lifting from this point forward. She will take care of you for all your classes. She actually put together the entire orientation, and she will be your best friend throughout this entire MBA process. So I just wanted to recognize each of them at this time before we get started. Again, my name is Darren Gertis. I'm the director of the MBA program. Welcome to Charleston Southern University. I want to start off by talking about some of the benefits of the MBA program. Why are you here? That's not a rhetorical question. This is an interactive part where I ask a question, you answer. Why are you here?
Opportunity.
Opportunity. Good. That's a very common, very good answer too. What else? More money. I think that's a derivation of opportunity, but okay, that's good. What else?
Career advancement.
Career advancement. What else? Anybody else? Everybody's here for opportunity, more money, or career advancement?
Because I love myself.
Because you love yourself.
Well, you told me to come.
I told him to come. Okay. Most of you will say something along those lines. More opportunity, career advancement, more money. There are lots of reasons, and a lot are in that shot group. I want to talk about the benefits of an MBA. You're going to, along this line, get business knowledge. Right? You realize that, right? That's how we get to the more money, the career advancement, and the growth. Business knowledge. You will learn, pound for pound, the same kind of thing as most MBAs across the United States or even internationally. You'll learn the same kinds of material in this program. You're also going to learn critical thinking and problem-solving skills. What my MBA did for me was it made me an organizational monster. You remember the movie The Sixth Sense? Right? Little kids saying, I see dead people, right? I see disorganization everywhere, and I want to fix it. That's just what it did to me, okay? And it'll have that same kind of process in you. When I was going through my MBA, one of my professors said, look, It doesn't work like you finish all your courses and then you walk across the stage. Congratulations, now you're an MBA. It's actually kind of an unfolding process where, you know, a semester or two in, it's like you have the M and then you have a B, and then it's a growth process. It's organic. So the MBA comes over time. It's not like you sign on the dotted line. You've done everything. You've graduated. No, it'll change you, it'll transform you in the process. And we here at CSU wish to transform you in more ways than just learning how to create organizations, but to do this for the right reasons, for the right motives to glorify God. Outside the box thinking. You're going to learn to see things differently than some of your colleagues, and that's going to be a good thing. Leadership skills. Stephen Covey, who recently passed away, the author of 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, said the soft stuff is the hard stuff. What he means by that, you're going to learn a lot of quantitative things and how to, you know, rigorously analyze things, but dealing with people is going to be a very important thing. That's the thing that sabotages most people's career, and you're going to learn leadership skills along the way. Networking. Nolan's going to talk about this in quite a bit, but look around. These people can be some of your best links in life. Right? Other MBAs, other alumni who have gone on before you, and we're actually working on creating an alumni organization. We just started working on that recently, and this network can be a robust source of strength for you in your career. Other benefits are going to be flexibility. How many of you know that we have online courses? Okay, so you can take courses online or residential. Here's how to do it. Take the courses that you feel that you need the most help with, most hand-holding, or the most understanding, interaction, tutorial kind of nature residentially. I mean, if you're strong in accounting, well, that's fine. If you're not strong, take it residentially. If you're strong in marketing, fine. If you're not, take it residentially. Whichever your weak suit is, be sure that you take that residentially. It'll be the best, the most beneficial plan for you. Christian atmosphere. We at CSU, you'll see on our banners all across campus, integrating faith and learning, leading, and serving, because we're intentional about that. This is what we are all about. This is why we exist. And your professors are on a mission. They see themselves as ministers here to help you become everything that God has intended for you to be. And let me also add something else while I'm at that. You're in this room because we believe, and Janie in the back has processed your application, and we've gone through this. I, as a director, have approved a number of these, and we believe that you have the smarts to be here. If we didn't, we wouldn't have accepted you. Do you understand that? So everybody in here has a shot at making it through this program. Now, it's what you do with it from this point forward that's going to be the dividing point. Does that make sense? Do you understand? We believe, we the professors, believe you're smart enough to achieve this. Okay? So we are invested in your success. We want to help you succeed. We want to help you grow and be what you should be. And we have specialized accreditation, not only SACS, but through the IACBE as well. But I need to be brief because we started late because of the food. Is the food good? Okay, we started a little late. I need to be brief, and I need to turn this over now to Rachel Wagner. Rachel Wagner is the MBA academic advisor, and she's going to be your lifeline. When you're scheduling courses, she will guide you into what you need. You have to be communicative with her and tell her what you need. But if you do that, she will help you get through this process in as clear and quick a capacity possible. Thank you.
Hey, good morning. How's everybody? Okay, I just have a couple of housekeeping things really quickly. Everybody got your folder whenever you came in, right? So this is what we're going to be going through today. Just kind of wanted to give you a little bit of an instruction. The first paper in here, I'm sure everybody got the letter in the mail about orientation. The first little half sheet of paper is what you're going to take over to Housing and Security to get your parking decal. If you're going to take any residential courses, you're going to need the parking decal on the front of your car. Also, if you come to the school for any other reasons, to meet with financial aid, to meet with me, to go to the library, meet with the professor, parking decal is also going to allow you to park. So some people say, well, I'm taking it all online, I don't plan on coming to campus. It's $10, it lasts a whole year. So if you're going to be on campus anytime between this August and next August, you're going to need the parking decal. So that's the first paper. Behind that is just a little bit kind of like an itinerary for the day. On the back of that is also a campus map for you, for those who've never been on the campus. We have orientation from 9 to 12. And then after that, the bookstore will be open till 1 p.m. today. Christy Smith, who you just met earlier, she will be in her office till 1 in case you had any questions about, hey, what am I missing from my documents for financial aid? Enrollment services, Janie will be here today till 1 as well. If you're asking what is missing from my application packet, when can I be a regular admitted student so I can get financial aid? All those kind of like housekeeping things we can take care of. And then as I already mentioned, your student IDs and your parking decals, they'll be open until 2 o'clock today. So that gives you a little extra time if you need to stop by somebody else. I'll be in my office as well. For those of you who signed in, if your name was highlighted when you signed in, you haven't registered for courses, and courses begin on Tuesday. So I'll be in my office as well if you need to make any adjustments to your schedule or if you need to actually start the registration process with me. Okay? So then behind that is the MBA checklist. We'll be going over that today as well, what it takes to finish. I get questions all the time about how long is it going to take me to finish, how many classes do I need to be taking at a time, what classes do I need to be taking together, what if I have to take all my prerequisites, what if I have to take none of my prerequisites. So a couple years ago, I put together the sample schedule, and it's also available on our website. I don't know how many people have gone through that yet. On the front is someone who comes into the MBA program needing 0 prerequisite courses. They've met all their prereqs. They had businesses undergrad or something along those lines. So it just kind of shows you how you can finish with the required courses and kind of when you need to take them. It's set up going from spring to fall because for most students it's easier for them to imagine a year going from January to December than from August to August. That's just kind of how our calendar is kind of already set. So it's set up that way. The back is someone who comes in and needing all the prerequisite courses. And it shows you, I've kind of balanced the courses so you can see what kind of goes good together. If you fall somewhere in between the two, then you would kind of cross off what you don't need, and that would kind of show you whatever you cross off and move up, that can eliminate semesters. So just kind of a starting point. If you want one of these created for yourself, feel free to make an appointment, stop by. We can do that. The next page behind that explains the MBA curriculum on the front, and it explains our course, our elective course offerings on the back. Now this is important because everyone in here will be selecting an emphasis to complete the MBA. And I get questions all the time about what elective can I take to count for what emphasis? Well, this is kind of going to be your lifeline for those kind of questions. You need 9 hours of emphasis, 9 hours for your emphasis. We'll go over that later in the PowerPoint as well. This is just, you might want to pull that out when we're going over that, when we're going over that section, just to kind of show you what courses fall under what emphasis to kind of see what you're interested in. Behind that, there's instructions on Blackboard and MyCSU. On the other side of the notebook, accepted students, a lot of you just got accepted this week. So if you're having questions about how to get your PIN number set up, you have to log into Blackboard, that kind of stuff, this page is going to walk you through that. Behind that, if anyone in here is working for a company that their company participates in tuition assistance or what we call commercial reimbursement, this is the form that you're going to have to fill out for that. And we'll go through that as we come up. There's financial aid information. There's FERPA, which Christy's going to talk about a little bit more about that. And then behind that is going to be an important paper for some of you. Career Services is hopefully going to be here before 12. If not, then this kind of walks you through our Career Services department here and how they can help you with building a resume, job posting, if you're interested in internships or if you're changing careers, that kind of stuff. They really have good people over there. So that kind of walked you through the notebook a little bit. I'm going to introduce myself. I'm Rachel Wagner. I'm your academic advisor. I got my MBA here in 2010, and I've been doing advising for a couple years now. So don't feel like you have silly questions or stupid questions. I put people in classes every day, all day. So I've heard it all. Okay. So a lot of people ask, what exactly do you do? What exactly can you help me with? So I found this cute sketch. So it starts off with a person that wants to graduate, and it kind of shows a progress of how to get there. That's a lot what I do. I help coach you. I help say, hey, come on, like, stick it out. Don't withdraw just yet. Come on, you can make it through this. I interpret guidelines for you and rules. There's a catalog that's available. I hear all the time, well, I didn't know if I got a WF that I'd be out of the program. Well, it's in the catalog. So I help interpret that kind of stuff for you, but you have to read it before I can interpret it. I monitor your progress throughout the program to make sure you're on track for graduation. And then my biggest thing, I advise you on what classes to take, when to take them, what to take them with. Okay, I'm an econ person at heart, so that'll explain the next slide. The law of supply and demand tells us that if we set a certain price, we can expect a certain quantity. So we've all seen the supply and demand, and when they cross is a certain supply, certain quantity, or certain price, certain quantity. However, most people only see price as a monetary value or cash, and that cash is exchanged for goods or services. The MBA has a greater price than just a cost per credit hour. It takes time, dedication, and given 100% to ensure your success. This is a cost for you. This is what economic people call an opportunity cost, because you could be spending time with your family, you could be laying on a beach somewhere, you could be working harder at your job, but instead you're using that cost for your courses. So all these things are a cost, and they have a price which is added to the cost per credit hour for you. So then is it worth it? You need to give 100% in the program to ensure your success in life and in the MBA program. This degree is not easy, and as we just discussed, it's not cheap. This is a good thing for you. If it was quick, easy, and cheap, everyone would have an MBA and yours would be worth less. Another economics lesson is that price and worth are two separate things. So, are you willing to pay the price? Let's get started. So this is the breakdown of the academic calendar. We have a fall semester, a spring semester, extended May semester, summer 1, summer 2, accelerated 1, and accelerated 2. The fall semester is a traditional semester that a lot of you had in undergrad. It meets for 15 weeks. It goes from August to December. The spring semester is, again, you're probably already used to that. It goes from January to May. It's 15 weeks. Extended May semester is during the summer, and it runs from early May to early August. The classes that meet in extended May semester are online or blended courses. So if you're a person that's wanting to take online courses and you're wanting to take a course during the summer, this is the time that you need to take that course. Because in summer 1, summer 2, and accelerated, these classes are more going to be residential. So we break up the summer to offer people who only want to take residential courses, they have the opportunity to do that. People who only want to take online courses, they have the opportunity to do that as well in the extended May semester. So that's kind of the breakdown of the summer. The extended May semester, a lot of people get kind of nervous about taking a summer course, but as you see, it's 13 weeks. So it's almost as long as the traditional semester for you. Summer 1 and summer 2, they're 5 weeks each. It's a much shorter time period. So just remember, if you're taking a course during this time, I mean, it's a marathon for 5 weeks. It's coming to class 2 nights a week for 5 weeks. If you have 3 tests and 2 papers during 5 weeks, you're guaranteed to have a test and a paper probably every single week that you're in one of those courses. So just be prepared. And then we have the accelerated 1 and the accelerated 2. These also meet in the summer. They're a little bit longer. They're 7 weeks as opposed to the 5 weeks. So in the summer, there's really, I mean, it's kind of whatever fits your schedule better. There are some people who they have all kinds of things going on with their family during the summer. Their kids are out. They go on vacations and that kind of stuff. So if you take a vacation in May, you're still eligible to take classes in June and July, vice versa. So, I mean, we can get you accommodated in the summer. Blackboard. So Blackboard is where you access your course materials in the internet. Regardless of whether your class is online or face-to-face, almost every professor uses Blackboard. If your class is online, you're definitely going to be using Blackboard because that's where your online class meets, is on Blackboard. Has anybody been able to log into Blackboard, go all the way through, see their courses, any of that kind of stuff? Okay, classes start on Tuesday. I only saw like 3 hands.
I didn't see my classes.
Okay, classes do not actually have to be posted until the first day of courses. So if they don't show up until Tuesday, that's perfectly normal. Some professors turn them on a little early, but they are usually turned on by the first day of course. Okay? So your login for that is your username is your student ID, and your password is your PIN. So your PIN, again, that's the first page on the side if you're having trouble retrieving that. Okay? Next is My CSU. It's the same login, your ID and your PIN number. Now there's lots and lots of things that you can do on My CSU. If you're a regularly accepted student and you've met all your prerequisite courses, you can register yourself through My CSU. You can also print out an unofficial transcript. You can check your course and your grades. Under the student tab, you can print, everything that's underneath here. There's also a financial aid tab where you can see if your award has been posted, what your balance is. All those kind of things are found on My CSU, and there's a page in your folder with information on that. Okay, Buck Mail. This is from the CSU homepage. Underneath the quick links, you select your Buck Mail. Every person who is a CSU student is going to have a CSU student email address. Now, if this is not an email address that you're going to check regularly, then you need to set up a forwarding account so that everything that gets sent to your Buck Mail can get sent to your AOL or Gmail or Yahoo account that you check, regularly. You can also go into Blackboard, and underneath on your Blackboard page, you can edit your personal information, and this is what your professor is going to see whenever he pulls a class list. So if he wants to send out an email to everybody in the course, then the email address that you have underneath the personal information is where that email address is going to go, or where that email is going to go. So if you're sitting there and you're saying, I haven't got an email from my professor all semester, well, you might want to check that CSU account because it's probably going to be defaulted to that. So that's how professors are going to get in contact with you. So if there's a phone number you want to put down, if there's a certain email address that you check, you need to edit all that in the personal information field. Okay? Oh, and the other thing with the Buck Mail, even if you have a forwarding account set up, the emails are still building up in that Buck Mail account. And it doesn't hold as much emails as maybe a Yahoo or a Gmail account would. So every so often, you're going to need to go in there and clear and delete those messages that are being forwarded to you, because basically it's just sending a copy to your email address. It's still housing that email in there, and it's nothing more aggravating for professors than saying your Buck Mail account is full and I can't get in contact with you. Okay, so this is an example of the login. If your name is Paul Smith and your student ID is 70912, your username would be the first letter of your first name, the first letter of your middle name, followed by your last name. And then your password would be the first two letters of your last name, followed by your ID. Now, this is your initial setup. Once you set up your password, you can change it to something that you can remember. If it's, because, that's a lot of instructions. So, John Paul Smith, JP Smith. Password, SM, ID. Okay, is there any questions about that? Has anybody tried to get into their Buck Mail account? Was anybody successful with that? Okay. If you're having trouble and you need your Buck Mail reset, because if you put in the wrong password like 3 times, it'll lock you out. If you need that reset, Curtis Perez is our Buck Mail administrator here on campus. His email address is down at the bottom. I encourage you, if you're having trouble with that, it's like your lifeline for getting contact information. So I encourage you to get that reset. I can't tell you how many times students have told me, and we're like talking midterm. Well, I haven't really been able to get into my Buck Mail account, and I don't really know what to do about that. Well, you've got like half a semester of emails in there, so if you're not being really successful in the class, that's probably why. So, get this kind of stuff as soon as you can. Okay? Christy is going to come down because I'm sure everybody is wondering where they're going to get their money for courses.
All right, are we all awake yet? Yeah? Yeah. Okay. All right, so I do financial aid at CSU, and my contact information is up there, as you can see. I'm sure all of you know by now you've got to fill out a FAFSA in order to receive or be eligible for financial aid. That's the website up there. If you don't have a FAFSA, then you're not going to be eligible for aid. The school code is up there, 003419. When you're completing the FAFSA, you'll need to enter that so that the school can actually receive it and pull the file in. Unfortunately, the only thing we have currently for graduate students is loans. We used to have subsidized loans, but the government has done away with that, so y'all can thank Obama. So currently, right now, the only thing that we have are unsubsidized loans. They do accrue interest while you're in school. That kind of tells you about that. Aid is not available to students who are currently provisional, and this means that we haven't received all of your admissions documents. So Janie will be on your back about that. Turn everything in so that we can get you up to a regular admitted student. And these are kind of the different things that you're going to need in order to complete a FAFSA. You'll need your social security numbers, spouses if needed, driver's license, tax information, and possibly any W-2s. Once we receive your FAFSA, we create a package in our financial aid system. And it says an award letter is sent out within a few days, but if you're just now turning in your FAFSA, we are having like an information overload of documents. So it may be, honestly, a few weeks, so please just bear with us. I'm trying to award as quickly as possible. You can also view your financial aid online through your MyCSU once you're actually awarded. When you're awarded, I would give it a few days for you to actually be able to view it. The system actually has to update everything for you to be able to see it once you're first awarded. Some students are chosen for verification. We don't choose you. It's an like random process, so don't get mad at us at all. We have no control over it, but if you are chosen, you must submit your 2011 federal tax transcript. There's a number for that. Unfortunately, I don't have it with me, but you can get it after the orientation. I'll be happy to give you that number to order it. It's called a 2011 federal tax return transcript. There are different transcripts out there, but you want to make sure that you turn in the tax return transcript. We possibly may need your W-2 forms, and we'll definitely need a 1213 verification worksheet, which you can find on our website under the financial aid page. After you receive your award letter, and there's many people who say they never got an award letter, know that you can actually do your financial aid online and it will show your awards, but you need to make sure that whatever address you put on your FAFSA, that's where you're going to get all of your information. So just be aware of that. Make sure that you understand any terms included with your awards and loans. You'll, if necessary, official accepted awards or decline any that you do not wish to receive. There is an award update form on our website. That update award form allows you to decline any loans if you don't want loans, if you're receiving commercial reimbursement and don't need it. You can fill out that form, turn it in, and we'll try to process it as quickly as possible. This is a big thing. Obviously, we want you all to succeed, but there are some times when family things come into play, such as maybe you're having a baby, or maybe you have a death in the family, and maybe you have to actually withdraw from a course. Just know, as a graduate student, anytime you withdraw from a course, you're always going to go through what we call a satisfactory progress appeal process. So you must turn in an SAP appeal form. Don't freak out. For most graduate students, it's always more than likely approved, unless you abuse the system and you're just continuously withdrawing from courses. But you will have to do that when you withdraw. Obviously, you're going to need to review your progress each semester and make sure you're up to date with everything. I'm sure Rachel will keep you up to date. And then every year you must fill out a FAFSA so that if you're wanting loans for that year, we're able to award you if you're eligible. And then if you have any commercial reimbursements, questions, Terry Coffett is the new person that handles this, so you can contact her. Her information's up there.
That's the pink form.
It is the pink form in the packet. Do y'all have any questions? about the loans, or has anybody had trouble with their award letter, or they haven't gotten an award letter? They turned in a FAFSA and they're having issues with their FAFSA.
I just need to see what our
You do?
Yes, I have a W-2.
Great, okay. Well, I will be over at the Hunter Reception Center. It's the first building as you come in on the right. And I'll
Is
be
it
happy-
the admissions building? Okay. What
And
room?
so, when you walk in, there'll be a receptionist, and
Okay, sure.
they're kind of like the bodyguard, so they'll lead you where you
I
need to
know.
go.
Thank you.
They will lead you, but I guess I'll turn this back over. Okay, these are some additional resources. Sorry about that. FAFSA.edu, that's where you go to fill out your FAFSA. Studentloans.gov, it's got some direct loan information. This is where you're going to actually go to complete a master promissory note and an entrance loan counseling. If those two documents are not completed and submitted to our office, your loans will never go through, even though you say, oh, I'm awarded. Charleston7.edu is our website. Has a lot of useful information. So definitely look there before you call any of us, because your questions are probably all going to be answered. For any kind of veterans information, va.gov, federalstudentaid.ed.gov. There's some information about different financial aid programs. There are some free scholarships, searches that you can go through. The biggest thing is that the scholarships that you bring in, we actually have to review them and go through them. So if you do see a scholarship out there that maybe you think applies to you, just let us know, and we'll try to look over it and see if we can possibly bring it in for you if you meet the requirements. Okay, so I've been informed. I'm going to tell you a little about full-time and part-time aid. You can get full-time aid and part-time aid. 3 hours is part-time. Full-time is 6 hours, which would be 2 MBA courses. So that kind of talk about that.
Just sometimes because students come straight from undergrad into the MBA program, full-time for them in undergrad was like, what, 12 hours or something like that. And so they kind of panic a little bit when I say, well, the max number of courses you can take in the MBA program per semester is 3 classes. And they're like, I'm not going to be able to get 8 because I'm not going to be full-time. And that's not the case. Full-time for us is 2 courses. So, don't feel like you need to take 18 hours, 12 hours. I mean, that's just,
So anyways, do y'all have any other questions? All right, well, if you need me, I will be over in the Hunter Reception Building, and I'll be happy to help you further. Till 1 o'clock, maybe 2.
Okay, so we're going to do some introductions. So I'm going to start down here on the front row. You would just stand up and say a little about yourself, where you're from,